Take care of your business, obviously. Make the bread, obviously. But what else are you here to do? You don't think that's valuable because you busy doing what everybody else tells you to do. Shit, I gotta wake up and go to work. I gotta wake up and do it. What do you want to do? What are you here to do? What are you called to do? You're called to do more than you're doing. You're called to do more than you can even see. Let's find out what that is. Welcome back. Mind Believe Podcast, a podcast focused on beating the hell out of your negative voice. Odi Ase. I don't know why I said my last name first. Lawrence Odi Ase is the host of this here podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get into the episode. This one right here that you're watching, that you're listening to, is the 100th episode of the Mind Believe Podcast. I should probably press the because it honestly, one, it's a humbling moment. Two, it's a milestone moment. Three, it's a moment of just gratefulness. I don't know how to better explain that, but I'm just so thrilled, so happy to have a podcast, to have a space for individuals to come on, to be vulnerable, to be open, to share their stories, their lives, their goals, what they're chasing, to share all of them and not just share a version of them that they want people to see. You know, a lot of times, especially speaking to my experience as an athlete, as someone in the quote unquote limelight, you get media trained. And this training is something to where you know the suggested or the commonly asked questions. And you go on a platform, you say, oh, we'll do better as a team next time. Or you say, okay, but we should have X, Y, and Z. Like you give the standard answers. I'm so grateful to have a place, a platform to showcase the real, to showcase the raw and the authentic stories behind the jersey, behind that real individual out there grinding and going out on the court, whether it's not even the court, an entrepreneur in a corporate environment, to peel back the layers to know who that person is, what they're chasing, where they were, and what they actually go through. So I'm very privileged to have a podcast going for 100 weeks now. That's something to cheer about, to be excited about. And even you watching, even you listening, for you to even tap in along this journey, for you to join this climb of where we're chasing, where we're trying to go to better ourselves, personal development in ourselves in every aspect. It's powerful. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, you care about your growth, you care about the next you, and you're not really worried about how you feel in this moment. Oh, I feel like I shouldn't, but you're listening to something that feeds your spirit, that feeds your mindset, that feeds your body, that, okay, we got to go. We got to get it. Let me listen to a story of how they did it. And how do I use that tactic with my life? I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to just be in this place and still doing this. I don't know. While I've been recording this, like my mouth is wet and white and watery. So let me just wipe my mouth. Anyways, it's crazy because I'm in this moment of reflection, and I just came back from a week trip to Toronto, Canada, the talented city of Toronto. Boy, I'm trying to tell y'all, boy, if you listening to this podcast and you a male and you want to find a little yeah, go to Toronto, the 6th. That boy Drake, Aubrey Grant, he did not lie about them. They got all type of cultures, anything you like. It's beautiful. And on a serious note, like, it's great for creative people. I think everybody's creative. Young people all in the same space, kind of like in New York. It's a cohort of individuals in a concentrated area that you could walk to a coffee shop and work with somebody here. You can go out, you can shop. It's so cool. And it's a melting pot, and it's something that I crave now in my life. Like in Texas, you got to drive everywhere. It's a hassle to do everything. And maybe I'm looking at my life through a filter that's not the best right now. And, you know, obviously when you go on a trip, it always looks like somebody else's life is better than yours. If you're watching, if the last trip you went on, you're like, I'm trying to move to this beach, not knowing that them people on that beach trying to move to where you at. A lot of times in life, we always want to go somewhere else and do something else other than sitting in where the hell we are. That's a vacay for a reason. That's not your everyday. How do I grow and know who I am through the situation that I live in every single day? I should probably shut up. But Toronto, I got a special place. It's a special place in the man's heart. I literally went there like 3 times this year. But I say that it's a perfect time to speak on this because I just came back from a trip. And before I went, I didn't even notice it was my 100th episode until like an hour ago, because my mindset, my ability to just go, 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 go is still there. Thankfully, this trip did a lot for me mentally, and it put me at peace. I was able to meet someone that really impacted me in a major way. Shout out Dominique, Neeks, Dom. Well, I like saying Dom. She doesn't like me calling her Dom, but this girl is special. Like, she's got it. She's mentally strong. She has something that she's building. She was helping me with what I'm building. And I'm like, seldom you meet people in life that just get you and get what you're trying to say and get how you're trying to say it and get your audience. You know, my thing with this podcast, I don't know who I'm speaking to. I never know. The numbers say this. I don't know. And that's not why I did a podcast. I did a podcast because I had a passion to serve people. I'm passionate about people beating the hell out of their negative voice. That negative voice that keeps them at the place they're at, that cripples, that doesn't want them to move forward, that they think that the mindset or the bright idea that they have, maybe I shouldn't even tell my best friends because they'll laugh at me because they've always laughed at everything I've ever said. So why should I even say it? That little bully, that's what I'm trained to attack every single day. And so all the other outside that makes it pop and makes it market and sale, I hate that shit. I hate it because I didn't get in this game for that. But I know, like, when you have an idea, when you have a plan to do something, it's to run with that and let the faith pull you the rest of the way. And that's what I've been living this whole podcast with, this 100th week of faith. It's a faith walk. This shit is not pretty. It's not. Most of the times I'm like, damn, I don't want to do this pod. I seriously. And it's not because I don't like what I'm doing. Again, and this can equate to so many things. You don't feel like you want to do the next thing that you want to do. If that doesn't make sense, let me track and say it correctly. This thing that you're really passionate about, it becomes normal and you're mundane. And it's like, okay, if I have a goal that I'm trying to get to and I see the weeks and it's kind of the same old process, the same old track that I work with, the same old patterns. I get a guest on, and then what? It's the same, and nothing's turning. There's no novelty. There's nothing. And yeah, you experience power in the moment. For me, in this particular instance, obviously I'm talking about me. When I have a interview, it's the best thing in the world for me. It's the best thing ever because I get to connect with somebody. I get to hear their story. I get to learn from them, and I get to help a listener, someone with their story, showcase, ask a question in a different way that they've never even heard before. And it connects with them. And as it connects with them, it connects with me. And then you realize, oh shit, we're not all different. We have some similarities. Yeah, your beliefs might be different, but our value system is kind of similar. That's kind of cool. And for us to do it in a urban way, a cool way, like it doesn't have to be from a higher lens. I think that's cool. I love hosting those conversations. So I'm so passionate about it. I forgot where the hell I was talking about. I'm just saying, finding her and connecting with somebody that gets it. It was a God moment because I've been asking God for clarity on this thing. Like, who am I speaking to? What am I speaking towards? I know I got a podcast, but is it more than a podcast? Last year, I went to a program with the NBA. I was in New York, and I remember Danny Spikes. She told me she's done well. She has a Beloved Box business. It's great, Beloved Box. If you don't know what that is, go look it up. It's pretty cool. And she sat me down after I spoke, and you know me. If you're listening, if you're watching, I'm passionate. I speak, and this is what I did, and this is why I'm doing it. And they loved it. They love my story. And honestly, everybody that listens and watches this podcast that's giving me feedback, they love it. But it's like she told me it's not just a podcast, it's a message. You got a message. And how many different ways can you get the message out? And what Dominique was like, she was like, it's a business, it's a company. And in my head, I'm like, duh. And I talked to Jordan, shout out Jordan. He said, we've been saying this, but I don't know if it's just me, but you, like, there's something in your head, there's an idea that you have that that it should be one thing, but you don't quite have all the puzzle pieces put together. Like, you can't see the full picture. So you're just like stored in the back of your memory. Like, I know it could be much more than what I'm doing. Let me just do it. I mean, just keep going. And then you get tired because it's like, damn, I can't see the full picture. I still have this one piece. I know it's a valuable piece because everybody's saying, oh shit, that piece is hard. I like the piece. The piece is fire. But you have a picture that you can't realize and you can't make that thing tangible and palatable. And it's not a thing yet. And I don't know. I'm saying this because I think this podcast is much more than a podcast. It's much more than just a movement. It's a way of living. Beating the hell out of your negative voice is an ongoing journey, an ongoing battle. Because if you're breathing, the enemy is coming after you. The enemy, mind bully, name it what the hell you want. It's coming after you. And it's coming after you for a reason. There's a lot of times we look at ourselves and like, damn, I don't have it. I can't do it. Why can they do it when I can't? I always say, stay the hell out of their business and worry about yours. So if you're worried about yours, let's go back and say, damn, I can't do it. Damn, I can't. If you're thinking that way, it's almost to flip it on its head. Why do I feel like I can't? Where did that come from? And if I have a mind bully, why is it after me? Because why would a bully come after you if you weren't valuable? Does that make sense? If you didn't have something precious, something of value, why the hell would a negative voice come after you? Because you were made with a trait. You were made with a designed image. Don't know what that means? Who cares? You were made with something uniquely crafted for you. That if you work with that seed, it's like a seed. And if you water that seed, no matter what that mind bully says, you water it. That hoe gonna blossom. It's gonna bloom into a beautiful flower, fruit, whatever, if you keep working. And that work is what the faith is for. You never gonna see the end picture yet. You're not supposed to. And so every single day, every single step, it's a faith fight. It's a fight to fend off that voice, to fend off your mind bully, to fend off that inner critic, because it's after your light for a reason. And in this season, 100 episode, I know this, I felt this, but in my body, I'm hot and heavy right now. I really am digging in my heels on that, beating the hell out of my negative voice, because that shit comes to me every single time I get behind this mic. Every single time I rush to get behind this mic. Every single time I think, damn, I got to do it better. And why is this not a bigger thing? That shit comes to me now, still, to the point where I just, if you know, if you're following me on IG, slight plug, King No _ Mind Bully Podcast. Anyways, I lost a tooth. And so part of this is like, bruh, you lost a tooth. You should probably lift your lip like this and talk with a slur this whole. I'm not doing that. I don't give a damn. If I zoom in, if I choose to edit this and zoom in, I don't know how to do all that yet. So I'm probably not going to do that. But if I choose to zoom in, yeah, you'll see an open gap at the bottom left third of my teeth. I need veneers. But I don't give a damn, because as long as I'm still breathing, if I was Gummy Boy with no teeth, I'm still going to get this message out, because it's not about me. It's not about me. And that's the biggest thing. As soon as you connect it with something outside of yourself, it fires you up and you have clarity. You have vision. You have an expectation to show up every single day because someone is counting on you. Just because you can't see it, just because you can't feel it, just because nobody's, chiming in and, Lawrence, I love that podcast. Nobody's giving you a treat to keep going. It's not about that, because they didn't do that in the first place. When you had that idea stuck in your head, they didn't give you a treat because they didn't know you had that in you until you did it. And so why along the journey, as you're doing it, do you feel like, damn, it might not be worth it because nobody's ever telling me, and I might should quit. I don't know if that makes sense. I might just precursor everything that I'm saying because I just don't want to offend anybody. Shut that. I get fired up and I got to backtrack a lot of the times. But a good friend of mine told me that this is an art form. And as you speak and as you think and as you blab, it is an art form. And if it touches one person, that is what it's for. You didn't come on here to be newscaster at 10 p.m. tonight and speak all cute. No, that's not your job. I didn't do that for this. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to speak in the vessel. I'm an open vessel to the Lord, and he gives me words to speak. And through the sphere of influence that I have, through this big black 6'9", dreaded up, beautiful face, the way he talks, the way he speaks, from his own lived experiences, urban background, Nigerian, American background, and with the London accent that just went to Toronto. However, it comes out like that because you're a nuanced individual. Obviously, if you're listening, watching, you're nuanced. There's so many different traits and different things that you will pick up from a line of communication that's not, hi, Jimbo, and today for mental health. No, that's not what this is for. Anyways, you're uniquely crafted. And I've said that, and I will say that shit every single day. You've been uniquely crafted by God. God himself made you in one way. And so the thought that you have to be great, to do something that nobody even can think of, is purposeful. And how can you take care and keep that thought, that idea so sacred that you won't lose it, that you won't let your mind belief trick you out of your position? Stand 10 toes in that thought, in that trait, in that idea, because it's for you for a reason. You don't have those thoughts for no reason. You don't have that vision, that expectation after you watch something, or if you're inspired by something like, damn, I got something that I really want to do, but I don't want to speak and I can't public speak. And that keeps me where I'm at. And I'm anxious about doing that. As soon as the fear kicks in, sometimes it's for a reason. Those feelings, oh, I feel this way whenever I talk about this. I don't want to say it in front of people because it'll make me feel small, because they'll say some feelings are signals. Feelings are signals. Find out what that feeling is signaling. What is that feeling for? Why do you feel down? Why do you feel like you got to crawl into a ball every time you have a thought, every time you have something to give of worth, of purpose to somebody around you? Every time you want to bless somebody with your words, you have a feeling of, oh, maybe I should stay small. What is that signaling? There's a lot of us, man. There's a lot of us that don't really know what we can do with what we already have inside of us. I know in my story, in my life with this podcast, again, I see it as a podcast and I just churn it out. I churn it out. I churn it out. And I almost get jaded because it's like, damn, like, bro, I don't even know what to speak about. It's so many ways to optimize, and to figure out what people want. First of all, if I don't know what I'm talking and who I'm talking to, it's like, bro, I'm just spitting out things that comes to my head in a daily. And yeah, that's good, but I get so tired. But I'm like, oh, how do I research things? Who am I speaking to? What guests? Okay, I got to edit now. I got to use my camera. I get so bogged down on the outside noise, the things that are supposed to help this thing grow, that I don't even sometimes look at why I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't have those times, those moments of introspection like I'd like. Right now, for some reason, I'm going to look to the left because if this isn't recording, I would go crazy. It's recording, sorry. But I'm saying there's a lot of times I just miss out on the fire and the passion of why I did this in the first place, why I created this in the first place 100 weeks ago, why I said I'm going to press play, why I said I'm going to have a podcast, why I said I'm going to open my eyes, open my big lips. Yeah, I got big blubber lips, and I'm going to attempt to bless someone every single week. A lot of times I lose sight on that. Why? Because my mind bully is still here after me too. And every moment I'm breathing, it's after me. And some days louder than others. But it's on me to pump my chest up, to pump and to build and to have that life and to have that energy and to have the vitality to say, hell no, I'm not going for that. I'm not listening to that. If you're watching, if you're listening, we're not listening to that. It's not on you to listen to that. Because if you listen to that, there's nothing good that comes from listening to that. And a lot of people say, oh, be realistic and, man, your situation. Let me tell you that. Let me ask you, what the hell in life, honestly, I'm just thinking about this. I had a whole thing right here about introspective questions to ask on a episode 100. I asked ChatGPT that literally, as you can see, I haven't opened my iPad. If you're watching, I just lifted the iPad and showed the screen. That's me actually becoming better at this because sometimes I only cater to the video audience and there's an audio audience anyways. I literally had something on the iPad that I was going to read off and I haven't looked at those introspective questions to ask on that. Episode 100. I didn't look at it because I get fired up. I don't know where I was at, but I remember. What is the alternative? What is the alternative of saying, oh man, that's not realistic? If you have an idea, if you have a thought, a trait, man, it's not realistic. You should think realistically. Anything great in this life around you, what the hell happened realistically? I truly don't get it. Anything great, anyone at the top of the charts or what they're doing, what happened realistically? If you look at athletes, LeBron James, single parent household, from the hood, from the streets, Akron, Ohio, is that realistic? And that's just one of many, so many examples in this life. You do great things because of the trait, the faith that you have in you. And a lot of times I even think, man, some people aren't Christian. It's funny because God made this system. This is a systematic system. Yeah, it's a system built on certain things. So yeah, a non-Christian can win in this life if they follow the trace. They follow the track. They'll find out that they'll run into some roadblocks without Christ. Even with Christ, you're gonna run into some roadblocks but to show up with the joy, the love, the passion, the ability to serve and to impact others. Only God can do that. Only God give you that joy, that peace, that comfort. Only God. So I don't know. I say all that to say winning looks unfamiliar to you if you've never won. And if you've never won, but you've always thought, damn, I got to do it realistically. Why not try to go down another path, another thought, another idea, another perspective, another filter, another lens to look at your life? I just kind of broke my voice down. I sound like Andrew Soros anyways. Another way of thinking and becoming will help you realize that potential that you have in you. You weren't called to be second class. You weren't called to take the backseat to anyone. You weren't called to do that. So why, by your actions, do you think that you were called to do that? You don't speak up when you have a thought because you're in a work environment and they're a manager over you and you don't speak up when you have something of worth, something to give, because they'll say something and you don't want to lose. It's more courage to push past that fear. Not more. It is courage to push past that fear. And the people at the top of where you want to get to or what you want to do, they're courageous. Audacity always wins. Always. Being who you are always wins. If you don't know who you are and what you want to do, it's to have the times of introspection to know, what do I really want? What would I do if fear was not an option? What would I say? How would I move if fear was not in my head? What could I accomplish if I was not jaded by my past? What could I accomplish if fear was not a factor? And if you're honest with yourself and you write the vision, what they say, make it plain. If you stick by that, you write that vision, you make it plain, that could be at the top of your day. That could be when you start your day. And then when you come back at night, and you jot down your feelings and your thoughts of the day, and you realize after time that the pattern is negative thoughts and negative feelings, but you still have that big goal, you can start trying to do the new you. You can start trying to live differently. You can start trying to surround yourself in an environment, not only physically, but online, an environment that actually births winning. So your thoughts and your feelings change. And so at night, you're writing different thoughts. You're writing different feelings that align with actually what you said you wanted to do. This is a system. There is a formula to win. There is a formula to become what you want to do and become who you want to become. There is a formula. And a lot of times you don't attach that formula to yourself, to winning, because what? You only think of yourself. And allow me to break that down. I love this quote. Maya Angelou, I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. Every time I get behind this mic, I remind myself, it's not about me. This shit is not about me. Every time I go to speak, every time I go talk to a team, the shit is not about me. This shit is for those after me and those before me that are looking to me to say, okay, what did he make from himself? How will he impact somebody else? How will he bless somebody else? How is he using what he learned to impact others? I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. And we in this whole tough, like, hell no. Once you attach your life to others' lives, other people, that's what we're here to do, to serve anyways. Once you see your life from a different perspective, the real life, your real perspective, you can move on the things that you have, knowing that you were crafted uniquely. And if he gave you a thought, damn, God, that's a blessing. How do I get this out of me and make this real? Realize this. Episode 100, I didn't know I was going to scream. I thought it was going to be a soft and a chill and a what's happening, baby. Yeah, we did it. No, It's urgent. It's urgent because what I've learned out of this 100 weeks is there's no safety in a negative thought because that negative thought eats at you, eats at your spirit, eats at your will, eats at your might, and you're fighting you, eats at until you're a shell of yourself. There's been times on here that I'm so scared to do a podcast. I'm so scared to mess up. It keeps me a shell of myself until I remember who the hell I am. And even if I'm speaking to God and my formula and my whole day is the same, I'll lose facts of, okay, I can't even talk to a family member or a friend because I got to be studying and know life in a podcast. I wasn't made to do a podcast. I was made to serve people through the medium of a podcast right now. But how many other ways can I do that and use my life to be an open vessel of Christ, of winning, telling people, okay, you can actually move on the things that you're passionate about. I'm inspired. I'm here to inspire people, to bless people. How do I do that? Over and over and not think about, oh, well, Lawrence, you don't have this lined up and you don't have this and you don't. I hate when I'm in that mode, in that survival mode, because it's like if you're watching, obviously you can see me about to hug myself. If you're listening, I'm literally hugging myself, trying to symbolize like I want to hoard everything, hoard my energy. Nope, I can't talk to you. Nope, I can't do that because I'm focused on the podcast. I want to hoard instead of opening myself up, listening to people, having conversations, impacting them practically on a day-to-day. And then whatever happens to a podcast, it happens. I learned a lot of lessons through Hunted, man. I learned a lot of lessons, but I've really learned that it's an everyday battle to overcome and beat the hell out of your negative voice. And how do you do that every single day without auditing every thought, without looking at your life, without staring at what you've done over a week period of time? How do you not journal and you think you're going to know your life? You think you're going to know what you want to do. Journal everything. And that's me. Sometimes I journal, sometimes I don't. I write every day, as you know, but that's just like creatively I'm trying to get better at writing. But it's like, why did I act that way? How do I feel today? Did I get some sleep? All of that matters. It matters so much because you look at the end of the week, you're like, okay, I felt good. 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 Why did I feel good? You probably had a process. You probably had a formula that you stuck by. You probably involved yourself with other people because we need connection in this life. You probably found agency in what you're doing. Like, okay, what I'm doing this week, it's worth it. Like this job that I have, like my boss or my team members, they see it like as purposeful. You probably had somebody say something to you, like friends, inspiring, like there was good news. You saw a testimony. You probably just had a wealth of great around you, or you probably knew and connected with yourself. Like faith is a thing. I'm going after this goal. I'm chasing this. Like maybe your week looked the same, but you felt great. Why? All of that is important to know and to check off. And on the flip end, when you feel negative, why? Was I mindlessly scrolling as soon as I opened my big black eyes? Was I mindlessly scrolling? And as soon as I open my eyes, I'm in comparison mode. Like, damn, they got it. They got a man now. I got to get a man. I got to get a girl. I got to, oh, they got a new team, a new contract. Damn, why my agent ain't, say, they doing this? Or they got a side business? Why? Wait, how they get a, everything matters. Everything matters. It's, we lose out on who we really are. We lose out on that feeling, that power, that courage on who we really are because we are so busy at looking at someone else's journey. Stay the hell in your lane. Stay the hell in what you're supposed to do. Put your goddamn head down and keep marching forward. Because as you keep marching forward, you find out what you're called to do. You found out who you are actually and who you can become if you stay on that path. There's a lot of times that an athlete, especially in the summer, July and August, you see, oh, he got a contract. Damn, where he going? Where they got? Like you're trying to do the math in your head. You think you're making the moves. You ain't making nothing. God behind that. And you don't know their story, but you're comparing like, damn, he got this and he got this. And you're comparing and you're like, shit, if he got that league and I'm in a better league, oh, bet. I got self-esteem. Like, I'm doing better. Or, oh, how did he get that? Where am I? You're stuck in somebody else's story. Stay the hell in your lane. Stay the hell in your purpose. What the hell else do you like to do other than basketball? What the hell else do you do other than your job, working a sales position? What the hell else do you want to do? Take care of your business, obviously. Make the bread, obviously. But what else are you here to do? What else are you here to start? What else can you grow through you? You don't think that's valuable because you busy doing what everybody else tells you to do. Shit, I got to wake up and go to work. I got to wake up and do it. What do you want to do? Find that out. Figure that out. 100 episode has taught me that main thing, to look at my life and stare at that hoe. Stare at that hoe. Stare at my life. What do I want to do with my life? Who do I want to serve? Who do I want to impact? What do I need to grow? What do I need to change? What alterations do I need? I know productivity is a thing for me. I know organization is a thing for me. What's yours? What do you need to get to where you want to become and where you want to be? I don't give a damn if I'm spitting, if I'm babbling. That's who I am. And I am lockstep with who I am. If this a block party and everybody going to different blocks, shit, I'm staying on my little stoop because I know what I provide on this block. Inspiration, power, courage, life, spirit, vitality. I know who I am, period. Who are you? If you're listening, if you're watching, who are you? What are you here to do? What are you called to do? You're called to do more than you're doing. You're called to do more than you can even see. Let's find out what that is. Good job.